This was the best beach vacation I've ever had.
Hi y'all, it's been Tangela. I'm Tangela, and we are on our first Hummer beach ride to see the wild horses for Benjamin's birthday. Come along with us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, the love of my life. Happy birthday to you.
Needs to be loose and it will go.
So I'll show you where that spot is. You may not want to go today, but I've seen more horses in there on a rainy day like this than normal. All right. They'll know you're there, but they would never approach you or come hurt you. And you can stand about. Believe it or not, this is still a state highway. There's the sheriff. Sheriff has 3 vehicles out here most of the time. And this is the only way to drive up to this area. For the next 11 miles, this is the road. It's called Beach Road. There are no parallel roads, no bridges. This is the only way to access this area. It is a state highway. You saw the sheriff out here. They're keeping an eye on the traffic. Their main role out here is to watch the horses. They make sure that nobody's bothering the horses. If they see a horse in distress, they'll call the Corolla Wild Horse Fund. A lot of people looking after the horses out here. Sheriff's vehicles. Corolla Wild Horse Fund has 2 vehicles out here. And all the tour guides serve as the eyes and ears of the Wild Horse Fund too. If we see a horse struggling, we'll give them a call. And there's a lot of volunteers that live out here. There's 2 folks that live out here volunteer to be volunteers for the Wild Horse Fund. You'll see some tree stumps on the right along the surf line. There's a few on the left. Most of them about 400 feet low. There was so much water tied up in the ice. So this was all forest for about 50 miles to the east to our right. Maritime forest, exactly like the forest you can hike through back there. And these are the remains of the trees. They're not petrified, and they are attached. They are stumps. They're not petrified. The last or next to last, we've had about 14 this season. And there was a group of about 15 people around this last night. I think that hatched last night. Yeah, it is. They've removed the area there. They usually hatch about 60 days after the day they're discovered. The moms are great swimmers, but they struggle in the sand here. They pretty much drag themselves. So they leave a really distinctive track. So the volunteers drive the beach in April, May, and June every morning at the crack of dawn on ATVs and find the tracks. And they'll find the nest and mark it off so that nobody drives over it. And then on the 60th day, they start coming out. Like I said, there was probably 12 people there about dusk last night as I came off the beach. And they waited there till the turtles hatched. They rake the sand smooth down to the water to make sure they're not driven over or picked off by birds. So it takes 3 to 15 feet of the dunes away every year in erosion. And some of the houses, and this house here is an extreme danger. We've lost 2 houses already this year. This one used to be in a row of 6. It's the last survivor of those 6. go back 3 to give you a better angle on a shot, you let me know. One of the big things we look for are good pictures for y'all. Those white birds come up from Florida in May just to ride the horses. They ride the horses and eat the bugs off of them. Sometimes every horse will have a white bird on their back.
That is so good.
And that's one reason I came this over here. I saw the white birds flying. So I knew the horses were probably close by.
Do they stay? How long do they stay there?
They go back in September, so in the next week or two, they'll go back to Florida. Originally, they came from Florida 40, 50 years ago. But now they make a migration, some of them up here. They're called cattle runs. Cattle runs. Broken, but he's still. The adult horses can sleep a couple hours a day standing up. I'm going to do a U-turn. Most of the time today, I can legally do a U-turn so both sides can get some good pictures. What? What kind of dog are those? German Shepherds. They're good-looking dogs. Yeah, here it is. Great picture right there. And we're in a neighborhood. We follow neighborhood rules. We can't come to a complete stop, and I can go really, really, really slow. That's what I'm looking at. Marks on the horse's back. That's the droppings there. Birds leave for them, but the horses like it. It's a good deal for them. They never flinch when the birds land on it.
Did they ever remind you they ever go down to the beach and run?
They do, yeah. The leader of each group, family unit, is an alpha mare. Well, one of them is little because he's a baby. He's about 3 months old.
Oh.
One of my goals is to always try to find you all a baby. That's Ethan. He's about 2.5 months old. And he's with his mom, Betsy. And she's only 3. That's her first foal. This red flag that's flying up here is put up by the beach patrol. That means no swimming today. The ocean is so dangerous. The rip tide.
Like you didn't tell that when you came in.
Yeah, I actually saw a lifeguard save a woman a couple of weeks ago. She got out about 100 yards and couldn't get back in. And she was lucky the beach patrol was driving by. Turns in the watchtower and look for wrecks. The ocean's right over the edge there. And often the wrecks were just right offshore, so the crew could just swim out and pull people back in. You can actually rent their equipment house, the little house on the right. Real estate company has restored all this. You can rent their equipment house. I think this time of year is about $1,400 a week for the fishing scene. And they used the watchtower in World War II to look for German subs. They roamed up and down the coast here. sun. They actually stick their heads underwater and eat the vegetation off the bottom. We got a baby right there. The second one here, nearest the white bird, he was the first baby this year. He was born near Valentine's Day, so he's getting about 5 months old. His name is Eros. The Wild Horse Fund named the horses, and they have a system. They use a different letter every year. So this is an E year. All the babies born this year have an E name. We saw Ethan and now Eros. We've got an Elm, Ember, Eleanor, and you might guess we got an Elvis.
Of course.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Here's the fire department. They service both villages, and they have EMS service. It's the only place you can buy something up here. 3 days a week you can buy a t-shirt or a bag of ice.
Wow.